Hola mujeres, soy Eva Longoria, and I am honored to be joining these powerhouse women leaders today for Latinas from coast to coast. As the proud co-founder of Latino Victory, I'm excited to see the record number of Latinas who are raising their hands to run for offices up and down the ballot this year, making history as the firsts to run for seats that never had a Latina representation. Latinas are an unstoppable force on the ballot and at the ballot box. We're 31 million strong, a formidable demographic with the power to influence national and local elections. And while I'm proud of how far we've come, we've got a lot of work to do. Latinas remain vastly underrepresented in elected office. We're less than 3% of Congress and under 200 office holders across the country. What's always been clear to me is we can't build Latino political power without our mujeres. From the movie sets to the halls of Congress, we need Latinas at every table where decisions are made so we can drive real change. When women come together to take action, we make great things happen. And that's exactly what we're going to do in the 2022 midterm elections and beyond. The amazing Latina candidates you'll meet today and many others cannot succeed without your support. These fearless community leaders who are running to serve their communities are the backbone of building Latino political power across the country. What's my message to Latinas heading into the 2022 midterm elections? Let's make history, juntas.
Hello, my name is TOVAR. I am an Arizona Corporation Commissioner. I represent all Arizonans statewide at a very important race. I am the first Latina ever to represent Arizona statewide. I feel it is truly important to elect more Latinas across this nation. One thing that we understood during COVID is that representation matters, our issues matter. And as a Latina, I also advocate for as many Latinas to make sure that they're at the table making these critical decisions on how to move our economy, our families, and our businesses forward. So I ultimately would love to have more Latinas represent our communities all across this nation. The one piece of advice I would give Latinos who are thinking about running for office is just do it. I was hesitant in regards to when I first wanted to run for office. I thought of all sorts of things to stop me from doing it. Like I wouldn't have all the answers. I'm not experienced. But I'm thankful that women in my life persisted and asked me to continue. And you know what? You don't need to know all the answers. You surround yourself by amazing people. You ask questions, you get educated at the same time, and you're going to be able to do the job just fine. I would say that was my biggest hurdle in wanting to run for office and not knowing that I didn't need to know all the answers. I just needed to come in with that passion to serve my community. And that I had since day one. So again, if you're looking to and need advice, please just run and do it. It is absolutely crucial that we get everyone that we know out to vote, whether you vote early or you vote the day of the election. There is so much that is at stake, not only here in Arizona, but across this nation. We have democracy in place. We have so much on the ballot that we need to make sure that our voices are heard. So I encourage you to ask everyone in your family, your neighbors, your familia, get out there and vote, because it is ultimately a critical midterm that we want to make sure that our voices are heard. And we could only have that done if we're out there and we're making sure our vote counts.
It is extremely important to elect more Latinas into office because our voices matter. And when we talk about representation matters, it's not just a hashtag. It really is true, right? Our experiences, our leadership, our ability to really understand the diversity in our communities is what's needed in the decision-making process all across this country, from budgets to policy. Latinas have a very different perspective because of who we are. And so I encourage all of us to support Latinas getting elected into office. My advice to Latinas who are thinking about running for office is just do it. It is one of the most rewarding experiences that you will ever have. It is really hard, I'm not gonna lie, but make sure you have a good group of people who are supporting you. Make sure that you really understand why you're doing this work, because it's important that your voice is heard. And so I want to encourage any Latina who's interested in running for office. You can call me, reach out to any other Latina elected official to make sure that we support you as you're moving forward. My message to Latinas ahead of the midterm elections is not only do I want to make sure that all of you vote, but get your family members to vote, right? I made history in 2020 as the first Latina to get elected in the county of San Diego in 172 years. I want you to help me make history across the country and to make sure that our Latinas that are running not only get reelected, but that we get new ones in, because our voices are so important to our communities. And so I hope that you will make sure that everyone in your family is registered to vote, that you get them out to vote, because our voices are important in this election.
Hola, hola. My name is Nathalie Reyes, and I am the president and CEO of Latino Victory Project. You just heard from some of the most brilliant and amazing Latino leaders who have worked hard to break barriers for future generations. We are so lucky to have such talented, fierce mujeres using their platforms to build Latina political power across our country. As we've seen in the past years, Latinas are strengthening our political clout and muscle on the ballot and at the ballot box. We saw that in 2020, 56% of Latinas voted, and more Latinas are running for office, and many becoming the first Latina elected to their seats. And we're just so proud of them. But while we have a lot of accomplishments to celebrate, we have a lot of work to still do to grow Latina representation. And part of Latino Victory's work has been focused on uplifting Latina leaders. This is why in September, Latino Victory Project launched a series called Latinas from Coast to Coast, co-hosted with Fierce by Me Too, to engage a young Gen Z and millennial Latina voter audience. We also wanted to create a space to showcase Latinas leading in elected office, to inspire Latinas to run for office and to vote. Over the past few weeks, Latino Victory and Fierce by Me Too hosted conversations between Latina elected officials and leaders. The inaugural conversation featured Congresswoman Teresa Ledger Fernandez of New Mexico, as well as Secretary of State Nelly Gorbea of Rhode Island, and LaFonza Butler, president of Emily's List. We were also proud to host Senator Annette Taddeo from Florida, Harris County Judge Lina Hidalgo from Texas, Yadira Carabeo from Colorado, and Cecile Richards, former president and CEO of Planned Parenthood Federation of America. These Latina leaders had one clear message. In this election, Latinas can make a difference. Every Latina voter can stop the dangerous attacks on reproductive rights, on voting rights, on climate change, and on affordable health care. We hope these conversations inspire Latinas to vote and to mobilize their friends and families to vote. It was our extreme honor and privilege to work with accomplished Latina leaders who are clearing the path for future jefas. To every Latina watching, Election Day is happening now. Make a plan to vote. Vote early if you can, and take 5 people with you. These elections are going to be very close. Juntas somos más fuertes, y juntas podemos cambiar el mundo y este país. Thank you. Thank you, and we'll see you at the voting sites. Bye-bye, everybody.
The discussions that we're having on childcare, on elder care, on the caregiving economy, on reproductive rights and abortion rights changes because we are in the room where these discussions are taking place.
The thing we say is somos poderosas, tenemos poder, we have power and we are powerful, and we are going to use that power, because if you do not use your power, it is not yours.
Really at the root, this is about the ability to make your own medical decisions. And I think Latino families very much understand that.
We have so much to offer. And in order for our community to have a voice, to be represented, we need to make sure that we have a seat at the table, even if it's a folding chair.
State abortion bans could harm nearly 15 million women of color. And of that number, Latinas make up the largest group of women who will be harmed at a horrific 6.5 million.
There is this myth that Latinos are very conservative and that abortion does not go well over in our communities. That's not been my experience. I grew up in a pro-choice Catholic household.
Look, if people didn't think that we could change things, they wouldn't be coming after us, after me in the way that they are.